I knew a dog named Maggie, used to follow me around my hometown. She looked like a wolf, she laughed like a hyena, she cast no shadow on the ground. All the stray dogs in my neighborhood barked and howled as I passed by. But Maggie never showed me her teeth, she never left my side. Maggie, the mud is frightening someone for those that do not know. And Maggie, the mud ain't nothing but a reflection of my soul.
Joy Ultimate Lamb and Rice is formulated with lamb as the first ingredient, pumpkin as an added ingredient for sensitive stomachs, and never made with corn or soy. Along with other top-shelf 100% American ingredients, Joy Ultimate Lamb and Rice is formulated with omega-3 and 6 fatty acids, glucosamine, chondroitin, zinc, and vitamin E, so your dog will be looking their best from the outside in. Shinier coat, healthier joints, and a stronger immune system. Rest easy knowing you're fueling your dog with the best when you fuel them with joy by feeding them food without any recalls. Find a dealer near you today. Call 800-245-4125 or visit our website, joydogfood.com.
Hold on, I'm recording. But I got to show you something. Ow, I got to turn that down.
You got them well loud enough.
All right, let's turn yours down a little, mine down a little. Try it now.
How about now? I'm sounding a little bit better, but it's still pretty loud.
Loud on your end?
Yeah.
How's that?
It's loud.
Well, it shouldn't be that loud. Here, look, I got to show you something, though.
Okay.
I downloaded new sounds on my podcaster.
I was going to say, because you're getting some good ones. They're always applauding, Josh. They're always applauding. No, I do like that.
What do you think of that?
That's a good intro. Is that what we're going to do every time we screw up? Or?
Well, I can't. I'd have my finger on the button all the time.
Well, that is true.
All right. Jed Finley, Fueled by Joy podcast. There is some background noise. Turn that fan down. Turn that up to where it ain't running.
There we go.
Yeah, that's better, ain't it?
Well, it's right there beside you, so.
Yes, I agree. All right, anyway. It's Tuesday. We're recording this on Friday. This will air on Tuesday. But I got my cords all messed up. I got them wrapped around there. All right, anyway. Hold on, I got to straighten this out. Say something for a little bit. Tell a story.
Well, basically, we're just getting done with the Youth Nationals. I guess that's been a while ago, but...
Yeah, we got done with the pro sport, huh?
Oh, pro sport, yep. That was the week after Youth Nationals. Josh went down there and got shellacked.
Good. We haven't turned a dog loose since.
No, I have not.
I haven't either.
No.
Hazel came in heat.
Yep.
It turned 107 degrees. Rain really doesn't need hunted.
We don't have anything that really needs hunted.
No. A bunch of senior citizens.
Yeah.
But we're going to get into that.
Yes.
I'm going to get into my pro sport cast. I had 2 of them.
Yeah.
I wish I'd had 4 or 5 of them or 3 of them, but
yeah,
or at least 4 of them.
I think you went down there to win a new truck.
Yeah.
And
I drove a new truck home.
Yeah.
Same one I drove there.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
But there has been, and I'm going to open some of it here later on in the podcast. I'm going to read it to you. Jed does not have Facebook.
Thank God.
Yes.
I might soon be on it.
There you go. Because I don't know if you should be or not.
Why?
I just don't know.
We could get the haters a hating.
Well, the haters already hate plenty, Jed. We don't need to fuel the fire. But there has been, it's been crazy on social media lately. And it has been, I got to move my mic. This is going to make some noise. There. And it has gotten to the point where I feel like, because when I first come out and we started doing the truth on Houndsman XP, that's the reason we did it.
Yeah.
Because there are so many lies spread via social media, via other podcasts that don't know any better, I guess. And, you know, it's the same lies that have been spread through the clubhouse, through the restaurants in the morning, wherever coon hunters gather.
Yeah.
About competition coon hunting.
That's a fact.
And there's a bunch of them.
Oh, yeah.
There's all kinds of myths. And the more money that is involved in these hunts, the bigger these myths get.
And the myths get real big, but the facts from the hunt are totally opposite.
Yes, always. And you've heard them all
Absolutely.
all your career. And we used, I mean, at points early on in my career, I believed them.
Absolutely.
Because I had these were older gentlemen that probably knew more about it than I did and probably been there, done that, but that wasn't always the case.
Yeah, when you're 15, 16 years old and you got these 35, 40-year-old men telling you, you know, everything there is about coon hunting. And
Well, you don't know any better.
Absolutely.
But I've had a long-standing policy in my life to have a pretty open mind.
Yeah.
Now, there's certain things that I'm pretty rock solid about, and I probably won't change my mind. One of them is brood females, but that's a different subject altogether. But I'm a pretty open-minded guy.
Yeah.
And so my thought has always been, I'm a copycat. Thank you.
Yep.
But I'm a copycat. Find somebody that does something really well and do what they do. Yeah, just do what they do and then try to improve on it later.
Okay.
Because if someone's way better at something than me and they give me advice, I'm probably going to go with it.
I'm sorry, but you're never going to be LeBron James.
No, but
Or
I'm
Michael
also not.
Jordan.
I'm also not 6'9". Those are physical traits that I can't do nothing with. But you look at, let's say a Wes Hamilton.
Yep.
Or let's say Wes Hamilton was trying to tell me how to put a dog in a successful situation in a cast, as far as where you should take it, when you should take it, and all that stuff. I'm going to listen.
Absolutely.
Wes been there, done that. Ryan Croston, when he's telling me what to look for, especially in a young female that is going to make a winner, a big time winner, I'm probably going to pay attention. Now, I may disagree with him on some things, but it ain't because I know more than he does. It's because maybe I like a different style of dog than he does.
Right.
And so I can't put up with some of the things that Ryan puts up. But as far as, say, I just want to go, I got infinite money. I'm going to send somebody after a dog that I know is going to win long term. I'm going to say, find me a female that's going to win long term at these pro classics. I'm probably going to give my money to Ryan Croston.
Yeah.
Because he knows what he's done it several times. And so when we look at the experiences that these guys have, we want to maybe follow in their footsteps, appreciate the greatness, things like that.
Phone's off, Josh.
Yeah, I know. I'm turning it off right now. But that's never the case with a lot of people.
Oh, absolutely not.
They make excuses for
Their dog.
why they can't do it. If I had infinite money, or if I had a money man, or if I had this and that. And we're just gonna let's just dispel some of these myths today.
Yes.
So I want to start with the levels of coon hunts. There are two major registries, and this is no knock on Pro Sport. We're Pro Sport fans. There's actually a new one-on-one deal that Todd Sellers started. We're waiting to see how it goes. You probably have it's Superior Kennel Club is what it's called, I think. I've been kind of keeping an eye on that. They're doing fairly well so far, but it's different. But there's nothing wrong with different. But we're going to talk about. In Pro Sport, I'm gonna throw Pro Sport in with the level of dog that it takes to compete in the Pro Classics, the high end Pro Classics. Yes. So let's talk about UKC PKC. You're starting at what would be the difference? Well, let's just start with this. What would it take to be consistent at a local level in a UKC hunt, just to stop, take a dog, and make it a grand night? What kind of dog would it take?
Not a real good one. I'm just being honest. I mean, it ain't going to take you It ain't going
What's
to
it
take a
take?
world build.
It takes 5 wins to be a night champion now, I think. 5 or 8.
Well, they changed all that stuff.
Yeah, but it takes cast wins now to make night champion and
But
grand.
in a summer, I'm saying June, July, and August.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't make a dog a grand night, it shouldn't be even in a hunt.
Okay, well,
To
now
be honest with you.
I'm going to play devil's advocate here because when is the last time you were in a local UKC hunt?
Well, we don't have one local.
No. When was the last time you were in a just regular old run-of-the-mill UKC hunt?
Can't tell you.
So maybe we don't know.
Well, I'm just saying.
We've drawn those guys at local PKC hunts.
Right.
And we've drawn some of the dogs that have done their grand nights.
Yeah.
But what people don't understand is how long sometimes those dogs are 7
Yes.
and they've been in
Yeah.
75 casts
Hey,
before
and I'm
they
not
get their
saying
wins.
like the Tournament of Champions and stuff like that. No, you got a total different caliber of dog.
Right.
But at your basic, let's go down the road.
Okay.
Where's Graham? Isn't there one in
There's
Graham?
one in Graham. That's a good club. I like that club.
We could go down to Graham.
Hmm.
And I'll bet you.
I've been down there 4 times and never lost a cast.
Okay. Point blank, period. There is my point.
But what I'm saying is,
No offense.
no
to those people.
offense. We want them to keep hunting.
Yes.
And as
absolutely.
long as they enjoy it, I'm all
Yes.
for it.
My biggest problem with going to those.
But here's the thing. Most of the competition exposure that people get are at those events.
Exactly. And that's my problem with
Yes.
a lot of it is because you go to those events and it's 3 guys that hunt together all the time. And you get one guy that's an outsider
Mm-hmm.
and he's going to feel like he gets screwed every time.
Yes.
Honestly, that's the way it is. And it's sad.
Turn your phone off, Jed.
I did. It's sad, but he goes and tells one of his buddies that's an hour and a half from there
Yep.
or whatever, and then it just keeps on.
And they take
spreading
it as
out.
gospel.
That's exactly right.
Okay, but you figure that is the only competition coon hunting exposure that 40 to 50% of the coon hunters are going to get. Ever.
Correct. Yes.
That's it.
Yep.
That's all they're going to get. That's what they think.
And they don't want no more.
No, then that's fine.
And they're happy
cool,
with that.
cool. If
Yep.
you're good with that, I'm good with that. But they think that's the way things are, and that's the way it goes, and that anybody above that is cheating.
Yes.
So let's go to the next level. You're looking at PKC $50 open events, like a most of the local PKC hunts. I would kind of categorize with the UKC hunts. They're about the same, but you're going to get a little better class of dog because those same guys that compete at a higher level sometimes will go to a local event. And some of the top UKC guys will go to the local event, and they're on, roughly the same level, talent-wise, dog-wise, and stuff like that. And so let's go to, say you go to a larger open event, Lone Star 5000, a Bear Creek Classic, something like that. Those dogs are going to be a touch better.
Absolutely.
Because you're going to run into some of the lesser dogs, some of the lesser handlers that are new, and we want all them guys to come to the Bear Creek. We want all them guys to come to Lone Star. We'll treat you great. The food's great. Hunting's great, so come on up. But their dogs are not quite that level yet. They don't know it yet because they haven't competed there.
Right.
And that's fine, too. You don't know until you go.
Yeah.
And so you're also getting guys like, you may draw World Champion Goose down at the Lone Star 5000. You may draw, Justin Caldwell with Trixie. A lot of local guys down there with really good dogs. And so that's a pretty big level. That's as close as you can get to being a pro classic without being in a pro classic.
Right.
And then you move on from that, you're looking at the $300 to $500 pro classics.
Yep.
And those are usually pretty good dogs.
Yep.
And so what is the difference between, say you got a dog, Finley, you compete in everything from local UKC hunts all the way up to $6,500 hunts. And what do you think is the difference between a dog that will win half its cast in local UKC hunts or half its cast at, say, a $300 pro classic?
Well, I would say the main difference is probably a little better talent. At the higher the level you go, the dog's going to be more talented.
Yeah, but define talent. Or is it a dog that's quicker on track, one bark tree dog, more accurate, or is
accuracy is a huge part
it? Oh,
of it.
it's the main thing.
I mean,
we'll get into that a little bit later.
That is the main thing. But I mean, what I look for in talent is that dog is moving around right and getting something done.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times at the local level, those dogs aren't hunted quite like the dogs are hunted at a $6,500 level,
Well,
or $300 Pro Classic. Because most guys can go spend $10, $15, $20 and not have their dog all the way tuned up.
Not have to get a dog ready for an event
Right.
like that.
But when you go to spend $300, that's a little different story. You're going to want your dog a little more tuned up. I think that's a lot of the biggest differences between your local UKC hunts and your $300 Pro Classics or whatever you want to, anywhere in between,
Mm-hmm.
is the people that are going. It depends on how they want to hunt and how much they do hunt.
Most of the guys that are spending more than $50 are hunting to prepare for that specific hunt.
Right.
Like, we don't really prepare for a $3 hunt, $300 hunt.
No, we don't.
We should, but we don't.
I mean, we go pleasure hunting.
Yeah,
we'll pleasure hunt twice before.
Yeah, well,
you know.
we really don't change much as far as the way we're hunting our dogs.
Correct.
We're hunting 3 or 4 or 5 nights a week anyway. You know,
Who is?
well, none of us right now because our dogs are 9 years older in heat. But normally, you know, say through when the weather's nice, we're hunting 3 to 5 nights a week.
Yep.
You know, a lot of nights are 2, 3 drops, put them up, one hard night, something like that. You know, and so we don't really.
When you're hunting dogs like we're hunting that are seasoned, and I mean, the biggest thing is just being in shape.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing we got to worry about. So,
But we don't prepare we don't do anything differently than our regular schedule for a $300 hunt
no.
or maybe a $500 hunt. Now you get into the higher level. So you're thinking, so we'll backtrack a tad. Actually, let's backtrack a lot because I missed a part. There's pleasure dogs out there too
Absolutely.
that just get turned loose and they just go tree coons. Nothing wrong with that either. We're all for those folks. Hope you keep doing it. Would love to see you at a hunt.
I would love to see some of your dogs.
Yes, exactly. But these guys have a bad habit, especially on social media, of thinking they have, just because, and I've said this before 100 times, if I've said it once, and they're all good behind the house.
Absolutely.
Those dogs, how many good dogs have we had? We got a whole slew of dogs that you can turn loose by themselves and then just go tree coons. Coon after coon after coon after coon, and do it with flash and do it with style and be super accurate and think, man, we really got something. And then they're not.
You throw it in a dog box and go an hour away from the house. And, it looks
and
like
they're
an
different. And you turn 3 strange dogs this way. So a lot of people don't understand that either. And we're going to get into that a little bit later. But like, for example, how much is Shock one?
I have no idea.
Like 60, 70,000, something like that.
Yeah.
And right now he couldn't win a cast.
Oh, yeah, he could win a cast. One dog.
Exactly. But you can turn that joker loose by himself.
Absolutely. We can
And
go
just tree coon so fast and do it so well.
and we can go anywhere in the country and do it.
Yeah, by
as long
himself.
as he's by himself.
Same way with Con.
Yep.
Con is in Texas right now, and I was down in Texas at a coon hunt and gave him away because I was so mad at him. Because, like I said, well, that night we went out and we treated all them coons last fall, and he was like 8 for 9 or something like that. And, you know, he's great right here.
Yeah.
And he's great if you don't haul him too far and turn him loose with a bunch of strangers.
Yeah.
But you haul him anywhere, he's junk.
Yeah.
Sorry, don't want to be there.
Yeah.
And don't act right. And so there's a big difference between pleasure dogs and competition dogs
Absolutely.
as far as mentality, but it's nothing to do with talent.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So you move on to, so we're just going to put that to the side. Pleasure dogs are not competition dogs, and it's a mentality thing.
Absolutely.
So
it's in my opinion, it's all a head game with the dogs. They got to want to line up against other dogs and compete with them.
Hazel's a fine example of that.
Absolutely.
Hazel's as common can be when you just go turn her loose behind the house. She'll make some slicks. She's not She don't move around as good as she does in a cast. When we're pleasure hunting with kennel mates, she'll cover some.
Mm-hmm.
But you turn her loose with 3 strange dogs a long ways away from the house, and she really
She likes
kicks
it.
it up a notch.
Yeah, she
Trader
likes
was the same way.
Yeah.
Trader was better, which Trader was good around the house too, but he still picked it up a step whenever you traveled with him. So let's move on to, and I'm going to throw Pro Sport in with this bunch too. All the Pro Sport hunts, the $2,500 Pro Classics, up to $6,500 Pro. They got one that's like $7,500 now too. Didn't they have a $7,500 entry?
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
Pro Sport had,
it's
Pro
a
Sport had,
$2,500.
yeah, Pro Sport had a $10,000 entry, I believe.
Yep.
And so the $100,000 hunt was a $4,000 entry. These are big entries. And what you're going to hear there, now that's top tier.
Absolutely.
That is absolute creme de la creme, best coon dogs, best handlers.
Yep.
That's where you're going to find them. And taking it from 2 guys that have competed at every single level along the way, from pleasure hunting to $10 UKC hunts to $30 and $50 PKC hunts to large open events to Pro Classics. We've done all those.
Mm-hmm.
And the best dogs are at the higher entry fee hunts.
Absolutely. There is no doubt about it.
So what makes a decent dog that is winning 6, 7 out of 10 casts around the house, and then the difference between a dog like an Echo or a Z or Meltdown? Well, Meltdown is a special case. But,
To be honest with you, a lot of it's just heart.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
But how do you quantify that? How do you know if a dog's got that until you take it?
It's something that you see. You got to have them out there and you hunt them, and you just know if they got it or they don't.
But how can you know unless you go to one?
I thought you said look. I mean, I figured you were talking about.
No, I mean,
looking
I'm
for
not
one.
talking about
But-
just scouting, but
Oh,
how
you
do
know if a dog has it to go?
Yeah,
to
how do
the
you
one that's
actually know if that dog is really good and good enough to compete with the best if you don't go turn it loose with the best?
You will never will.
You never will know.
No, you'll never know.
You can run your jaws on
Absolutely.
Facebook, on social media, and Instagram and TikTok or whatever the kids are using now. All you want, but you don't know and you can't understand until you've been there.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you look at, well, all these dogs lose.
Absolutely. And the thing is, what people don't understand is you look at, take a woodshed hunt, for example. You got 16 dogs there. How many times is the same dog getting in back-to-back nights?
Not very often. It's rare.
Yeah.
At any pro classic,
Because
it's
you
rare.
got good dogs that can be beat on any given night, and everybody takes their turns winning. Now, when you get on a hot streak and start winning multiple casts at those, you got a pretty special dog.
Very special dog.
And the dog is just operating. But a lot of it is the dog has to be, in my opinion, you take a dog like Echo and you put him in the right situations where Ruby was another prime example. Meltdown was a freak of nature. He could anywhere you took him.
Meltdown went anywhere. Yeah.
But you take like Echo and you hunt him on field edges. He's going to gut you.
Yeah.
I hate to tell you, but that's that dog's specialty. They know it. That's where they hunt him. You take Ruby. You put her where she can just go through there and pop, pop, pop. That dog was deadly when she can pop.
And the
coons.
bad thing about Ruby was she may tree 2 slicks out of the truck
Absolutely.
and be at 400 in the hole and come back and just tree 6 coons all of a sudden and
Yeah.
you're beat.
And it's one of those things where those dogs and those handlers, and the handlers have a lot to do with it because they put them in the situations to be great.
What?
The dog to be great.
Yeah, they do. And that we're going to get into the handlers in the second part of this. But I don't think people understand because they look at scorecards.
Yeah.
And they'll see, 200 won that cast on 1 coon or...
They didn't realize that they were 3 miles apart scoring
Yeah.
their trees either.
Which we're going to get into that later. That kind of makes me mad. I'm not into that. I can walk. You can ask Jake Moore and Duel. I can walk. I can get there. Especially when I got to get terrain and get her turned loose again because she's a coon behind because everything else went a mile away and I had to take forever to get to her tree. But anyway, that's a different story. But people see these scorecards and they say, well, like say the finals of the World Hunt, PKC World Hunt, and say a dog goes in there and they tree then maybe they leave a tree or they make a mistake and they go tree one coon, and then at the end of the hunt they get treed again and they have another coon to win, which happens pretty common. You know, everything treed one coon, one dog treed two, but made a mistake, so it made it real tight at the end or something like that. That's a pretty common cast. It's a common occurrence. People look at that and be like, oh, yeah, this dog only treed 2 coons in 2 hours. They don't understand what that dog got through to even get to Saturday night.
Well, no, they don't understand that they hunted early and late round a minimum of 4 times.
Now,
They didn't realize that they've been sleeping, eating, living in a dog box all week, away from home. They have no routine to their life, really. Because, I mean, as hunters, when we're on the road, we don't really have a good routine. We do. We're lucky enough we have Big Tom go with us.
yes.
So the dogs are let out at a certain time and, fed, watered, everything. They're set up.
Yep.
But a lot of people, these dogs are laying in the dog box for 6, 7, 8 hours while the handler's in sleeping, So they're not on the same routine as when they're at home. So, I mean, you got a lot of stress that's put on a dog. Another thing is they don't understand these woods have been pounded
All week long.
I
I think every coon that's treed from Friday night early till Saturday night late has already been treed. At least once that week.
Oh, usually it has. Yeah.
At least once that week. That coon's probably already been treed.
They've been, and the thing about it is, what people don't understand either is, like, we're starting to get so many hunts that are in the same location. So these coons, coons get educated. And when you run a coon over and over and
There's
over,
a lot of spots that get hunted early and late the same night.
and how many times they get pleasure hunted?
Yeah.
2 months leading up to
You
that.
look down at Kevin's when we're down at the Lone
Yeah.
Star. We're there a weekend ahead.
First night, how many coons do we treat usually the first
Usually
night?
it's a 13, 14, 15 coons the first
Yeah.
night. And then by Saturday night, we're lucky to treat 2.
Yeah.
They'll get hunted 14 days straight.
Yeah.
And we're shooting some to some dogs.
Yeah.
We're knocking a few coons out here and there. And
Yeah.
then next thing you know, you're turning loose in that great big flatwoods, and someone who hasn't hunted it all week on Thursday,
They're
they're like,
like,
man,
"Oh,
this looks awesome. This
man,
looks awesome. I'm like, yeah, we'll be lucky to treat coon. We done killed 10 in here, but
Don't mind the smell as we're walking through here.
that's right. So folks that haven't been there don't understand.
No, they don't. And the biggest thing is they're not open-minded enough
Right.
to understand it.
So we're gonna that's our goal. We're gonna open them minds, Finley.
Good
You
luck.
think it's gonna work?
No, no. Because they're probably going to be sitting there hating on us.
Yes.
Because we're sitting here, they've done it, seen it all, whatever,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. But
You know what they're gonna say? Oh, those are just rich guys.
yeah.
Those are just
Yeah.
rich guys with hired. One's a hired handler and one's just a rich guy. And this, but you know what?
Hey, I'll give them my bills right now if they want to be
No
rich.
kidding. But we went through this on a lot of the truth episodes. Is we all started in that exact same place.
Absolutely. We all started at the same level. I mean, every single coon hunter
Exactly.
started at the same level.
And
It's just some people want to compete and want to compete at different levels.
Yes, and there's nothing wrong with, and we can't iterate this enough, is that there's nothing wrong with a guy that just wants to keep a couple dogs behind
Right.
the house, hunt them through coon season.
Yeah, but don't bash on the guys that want to move up.
You
the
don't
grade.
see Dustin Weed getting on Facebook and mouthing about a guy that just takes his red bones out 10 times a year and treats
Right.
3 or 4 coons a night.
Yeah.
You don't see that. Big time competition hunters don't run down pleasure hunters.
No.
I've never, if they do on a consistent basis, I've never seen it. Because we were all pleasure hunters at one time.
And to be honest with you, most of us still enjoy pleasure hunting.
Yes.
More than we like the competition hunt.
You know as well as I know that my favorite part about this is starting a pup from
Absolutely,
7
yeah.
weeks old. I like to raise them. Hazel, we're going to make that announcement now. I guess Hazel's been bred to shock.
Yeah.
We don't know if she's going to have pups yet. She's just getting ready to come out
Our
of heat.
luck on pups here lately.
It's been rough. It looks like scent missed on Dom, and we couldn't get rain bred because apparently she was in too good a shape.
Yeah, that's what they said.
That's what the vet told us.
Yeah.
That didn't make any sense to me, but whatever. I guess I'm not a vet.
Yeah.
I want to be open-minded too, and
Yeah.
say the vet probably knows more about it than I do, but I'm debating.
Well, I'm guessing she's open. And then
So-
B aborted her pups.
Yes. And so hopefully Hazel has a litter, because that's my goal. Is I want to raise a baby puppy and get it started. That's the favorite part of this whole coon hunting sport that I do. I like handling at hunts. I like it a lot more now than I used to because you've allowed me to go to larger events where there's less drama.
Yeah.
And there is a lot less drama. We're going to get into that a little bit too, because that is a myth that has been perpetuated terribly lately.
Yes.
But everybody has their niche or their thing that they like in this sport from running hounds. I don't care if it's the bear dog guy or the mountain lion guy or the foxhound guy or whatever.
And the thing is, in those different industries, they're the same style of people as you and I are.
Oh yeah,
They're guys that are
they're all just hillbillies like us.
Well, there's guys that mountain lion hunt. They want to start pups.
Yep.
Watch them progress, and then they're ready to get rid of them.
Yep.
I am the absolute opposite.
We know.
You give me one, I want to polish.
Yes.
Let me get that old polish machine out and work on it.
Well, when we talk about the levels of this, it's hard to tell someone to just go do it, because some people don't have the mentality to do it and be successful, and then they're immediately turned off by it.
Well, if you don't have instant success,
that's okay. First of all,
that is very okay. That's actually a very good thing.
Yes.
In my opinion.
A lot of the great handlers right now and some of the most successful handlers were like 0 for 30. I've interviewed a bunch of them.
Amen.
Yeah. I mean, I was. I don't think I won a cast from the time I was 10 when I started till I was like 14.
Yeah. It took a long time.
Yeah. I went 4 years.
But throughout that whole time, you were learning. And then when you started winning, you learned how to win.
I still didn't know shit until I was like 30, though.
Well, that's true. I still don't know shit today. But.
Well, that may be true too. But I can't even remember where I was going with that. But like I said, there's levels. We want everybody to do this.
Absolutely.
The whole point of coon hunting is probably one of the most inclusive sports on the planet. It don't matter if you're black, white, rich, poor, whatever. It doesn't take anything to get started.
Nope.
It takes an old dog from the pound. You can walk it behind the house with a 2-cell flashlight and go coon hunting. You know, it doesn't take anything. You know, it isn't waterfowl hunting where you got to spend $1 bajillion on your gear just to go out there and a lease and stuff like that. There's public ground all over the place. There's literally like 1 million acres in Missouri that you can hunt free of charge.
Yep.
Just get a dog, get a light, get a gun, go coon hunt. So it's really one of the most inclusive as far as it doesn't matter where you came from, what you're doing. You know, it's a fantastic sport, but
you can't be scared of the dark.
No, you can't be scared of the dark. Which I don't know. I know coon hunters that are scared of the dark.
Absolutely.
I know. I can think of 3. I'm not going to name any names, but I know T. Mac Dominguez is scared of hogs. There was a guy from Texas that's scared of freaking hogs. Oh, we were in a cast one night in Bella, and I think he was hunting jigs or jiggers or one of them. And they were running hogs around us and through us and by us, and he's hiding behind me. And he's from Texas.
Well, it is T-Mac.
It is. I love T-Mac. But anyway, that beside the point, anybody can do it.
Yeah.
Anybody can get started, and we want to encourage that.
Yeah.
So if anybody wants any help doing it, by all means, get in touch with us. We'll give you a hand. Give you some tips. Don't get in touch with Jed. I ought to say your phone number right now.
No, you shouldn't. No, you shouldn't.
Don't get in touch with Jed because he's just going to tell you to leave him alone. But you can get in touch with me. I'll help. But anyway, it's inclusive. It's fun. Everybody should do it. But there's so many different levels as far as dog power. We're going to finish up the dog power part, and we're going to move on to the handlers here in a second. We're going to take a little short break for a commercial, and maybe actually we're going to take a short break, and this is going to be episode 1, and then we're going to get an episode 2 about handlers and hunts and rules and things like that.
So what are we going to say about dog power?
We don't have enough. But anyway, dog power is, we've talked about it, there's different levels to it.
Absolutely.
And, well, okay, we're going to extend this episode for just a few more seconds.
Well, you said we're going to finish up with dog power, and then we're going to go to handlers. What
kind of dog does it take to go out right now and to win a pro sport truck or a $6,500 pro classic or a world hunt or a national championship?
A
things
dog
like
that goes in and gets treed first.
Agreed.
I think the dog that goes in and gets treed first, no matter the strike, because usually that first dog gets turned loose again, and then it don't matter if you're 200 or if you're 125.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is a dog that don't care about what everything else is doing, just has, let's go out and tree a coon on my mind, and goes out and gets treed first, and you get it cut loose again, that's the dog that's going to win.
That's another thing a dog has to do. And hustle is important, but there are different kinds of hustle.
Oh, absolutely.
We all like dogs that move around like rockets, but those dogs can get you in a lot of trouble sometimes.
Oh, absolutely.
Because sometimes they move too far too fast.
Yes.
Or they're worried about moving instead of worried about treeing a coon.
Exactly.
Or they're looking for their coon.
Well, you look at you in the pro sport hunt with Rain. She was looking to get the hell away from everybody else.
It killed her.
And moving
her.
in the right direction, going everywhere she needed to go. But when you don't want to tree a coon, you want to get away and everything first.
Especially in pro sport, it's
Absolutely.
so important to get treed first.
And it's so fast paced.
Yes.
Because you get off, with pro sport with that no leash lock, and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
But that first tree, if you get treed first, prime example, when I won the truck, got treed first out of the pickup.
Yep.
Every cast that I won in pro sport, that weekend, I got treed first.
Yep.
It is a huge, huge, huge advantage.
Well, you at least have to get treed in the top. It's treed first is a huge advantage, but you got a pretty good shot if you get treed second.
Yeah.
Or third sometimes, depending on how fast everything's going.
But by the time, this is my only thing is...
The thing is, you have to be treed before that first dog is scored.
Right.
If you're not treed first, you better be
Correct.
treed before that first dog is scored, and you better be really close, because what killed Rain, and we hauled Rain. Here's another example of why it's important to have a schedule and why it's important to have a routine, especially when you're on the road, is we know that Rain is not good when you haul her that day and hunt her that night.
Exactly.
I didn't like it. I had work obligations. You couldn't make it out there either. And so our only option was to drive her out there Friday. I got out there as early as I could on Friday, let her rest for a couple hours, tied out, and then put her in the dog box, drove to the cast. And I knew she's always a slow starter when you do that.
Yeah.
She's always a slow starter when you do that. And what happened was we turned loose. All three dogs besides Rain go bang, bang, bang right in front of us in the first 5 minutes. And they've all three got coons. Rain, she's in there. She's located one of them trees once. She's opened a few times. Of course, she struck for 25 like she always is lately. And once they all got treed, she moved across the road and got out of there. And so they all three get treed. One of them, the first one that gets treed, gets recut. And he gets treed again before I can get Rain treed. Well, he gets treed a mile deep. Gee, good grief, Finley. Finley just got up to get him another drink and scooted his chair back. Go ahead, Finley.
I'm good now.
Scoot it back up.
No, I'm good.
No, scoot it back up. Let's get it over with.
No, I'm good now. I got far enough away from the table. I'll just lean forward.
Come on.
No, I'm good.
Okay, but anyway, the dog that got treed first gets recut, gets in there a mile.
Yeah.
And gets treed again before Rain gets treed. Soon as he gets treed, Rain gets treed. We walk a mile to him. By the time we got to Rain, it was another 2 mile or mile 1.6 or something back to her. Hunt's over. Mm-hmm. She's got a coon, quarter and 100. Doesn't do me any good because everything else is treed again now, and only one of them has to have a coon.
Right.
I knew at that level one of those dogs was going to have a coon. It was hot. There was no sense even turning her loose again.
Yeah.
Would take her the truck. Late round, she's a little sharper, but still not quite as sharp. Jake Moore's dog gets treed first. We go to him. The other dog gets treed way deep. Jake's dog gets cut again. We're walking to the dog that's treed way deep. Jake's dog gets treed right in front of Rain. And so he gets treed again, and then I tree Rain. So now we got to go to this James's dog that's way deep, Jake's dog that's shallow again, and then go to Rain. By the time I get to Rain, she's made one tree, and there's only 6 minutes left in the cast.
Yep.
And so you got to get treed quick. You got to be able to operate under different circumstances, different situations.
Yep.
And that's harder to find in a dog than people think.
Yeah, people don't understand that. It's not an easy characteristic
No.
to having a dog.
No. All right. Is that all we got to say about dogs?
I think so.
You got anything else to add? Do you need to get?
I
do you
want a
need to
good
get
one.
We all do, Jed. We all do.
I'm just looking for another good one.
All right. This is going to be the end of episode 1 of myth busting.
Mythbusters.
The myth busters of competition coon hunting. So thank you for joining us. We're going to get started with episode 2 next week. So tune in.
She'll never die of starvation, although she'll never eat. Maggie, the mutt, full of bravery and guts, and always at my feet. Her ribs are showing, her howl is long, but she refuses to die. Maggie will live 100 years longer than I. Maggie the mutt's always down in a rut, looking for some bone that she buried.